Hi, welcome back to the show. We just have 4 more trading days for the budget, the maiden Modi budget, and India Inc. has very high expectations from the Modi budget this time around, with hopes running high that a new era of investor-friendly and growth-oriented reforms will be ushered in. Pallavi Bakru of Grant Thornton joins in with the findings of a survey that they conducted of what top corporates want to hear from the finance minister, and I understand that they surveyed about 250 CFOs, CEOs, etc., and came out with a detailed report. Pallavi, hi, good morning, and thank you for joining us. First, if you can tell us about what your general outcome from the survey was.
I think you've already spelled it out. You've taken the thunder away from me, because the two sentiments that sort of came forward very strongly in the survey were that, one, everybody is expecting an investor-friendly budget. That's sort of, if you look at the statistics we've put out in the survey, it was like a 91% response that people were very sort of gung-ho about the fact that it's going to be an investor-friendly budget. And the other, of course, is that it's going to be very growth-oriented. So these two were clearly, the highlights, if I were to sum them up, yeah.
Pallavi, hi, morning. On two issues, one was the retro tax and the other was GAR. What is your survey throwing up on that?
So again, the sentiment is that GAR is going to get deferred, or they would want to see it deferred.
Okay.
GAR actually exists in 19 countries, so it's not that, people don't want the legislation to come. They just don't think it's the right time for the legislation, and therefore the, desire for it to be deferred. Okay. On indirect tax, again, it's now part of our law. It's been codified. And the only thing people want is let it be prospective. So they want the retrospective piece to go away. And so whoever comes in now is sort of very familiar and knows what he's in for as an, investor in India as far as taxes are concerned.
Okay. I was going through, some of your findings of what you expect as far as personal income tax, minimum alternate tax, etc. Most of your respondents think that it will remain unchanged. There won't be any changes at all this time around?
I think it's a very realistic view.
Okay.
Because the economy is not doing too well. It's not as if, our exchequer is overflowing. Government needs money. And so we don't see a very, a major change as far as tax rates are concerned. If you look at what the individuals are looking for their personal tax rates, it's surprising. A lot of individuals feel that either there'll be some tinkering in rates, or there would be some change in the minimum minimum exemption limits, or there'll be some increase in the limits that individuals are entitled to for, claiming exemption for the interest paid on housing loan, or some of the installments that they pay towards the loans that they've taken. And I think that's largely to compensate them for the kind of inflation we've seen, and salaried people get sort of affected the most by that.
That's an interesting point, because there's also belief that, you could raise the minimum tax limit and also the ATC, exemptions. But to compensate for that, there could be a fourth tax slab that could be introduced at higher levels. Did you have any interaction on that?
Yes. In fact, that seems to be a possibility, because it also resonates with that whole ethos of saying that people who earn more should be paying more taxes. So we don't rule that out. It's definitely, a lot of people do feel that that could be a possibility.
What about GST? What's the call there?
GST, there's a lot of enthusiasm. People feel, if not all the three parts of GST, which is central, state and integrated GST, at least central GST should get rolled out. At least that will lay down an implementation path, at least something to indicate that this is what the roadmap is going to be like. So whether it's a definitive timeline or it is, at least one of the components getting rolled out, they would love to see one of those things happening.
So these are all the wish lists that CFOs and CEOs have. Okay. What about, what is the realistic expectation from a sector like real estate? Because over there, Prime Minister Modi has indicated, affordable homes by 2020, etc. What is the expectation as far as either a deduction of home loan repayment, a special category over there, or, giving it infrastructure status, etc.?
I think that's been a long-standing demand of the real estate industry, and more so now as we are talking about creating townships, decongesting our cities, having mass housing projects. I think we have something called a Section 80IA, and, they would be really delighted if they could get sort of recognized under that section and get tax benefits. So that clearly is another thing that's come up in our survey report, is that they would love to see that benefit being extended to the real estate industry for these kind of projects. then I think the real estate industry is also a very taxed industry. They pay VAT, they pay service tax, they pay stamp duty. And I think somewhere there needs to be some sanity needs to be, lended to what all taxes are required. I don't want to get into the technicalities, but, you have certain things like a joint development agreement where, there's a lot of confusion whether service tax is payable or not and on what amount and, how do you really go about it. So there's a fair amount of clarity that can be brought in on the taxes that are currently being paid by the real estate industry. And of course, it could be given the status of being infrastructure, be eligible for ETIA. Sorry?
On REITs?
Okay, REIT is a different ball game because then we are looking at giving them liquidity to that market because then you're giving them a structure where they can list and, have a different sort of perspective to the real estate industry. So REIT doesn't really affect, a retail buyer today. REIT is more from an investor perspective in terms of giving the portfolio a wider reach.
No, I mean, are they expecting any clarity on that double taxation, etc.?
I don't think anybody's really looking at REITs right now. Okay. Which are real estate investment trusts, which you can list and raise more money. It's definitely something that they would want, but I think they have more basic needs right now in terms of, being recognized, getting a lot of these tax issues sorted out.
There's an interesting presentation, in your presentation about short-term capital gains tax and STT, because from whatever the feedback we have got is that there's a case for decreasing STT and maybe increasing short-term capital gains tax. But you're talking about abolishing short-term capital gains tax and increasing the STT.
So it was surprising actually. In fact, the survey didn't just show up that the STT should go up. So some people said that it could marginally go up, but a lot of people felt that if there was in listed securities, where STT is being paid as it is, there's no long-term capital gain. If you did away with short-term as well, you'd probably see more volumes and you'd probably make up for that shortfall of short-term capital gain by way of the STT that you collect. So really that was the logic, just to give more buoyancy to the market.
Okay. So finally then, if you had to rank in the order of preference, the most desired expectation and the most realistic expectation, what would your view be?
I guess the most desired is around taxation of indirect transfer. I think that's sort of looming very large on everybody's mind. And to some extent, I think it's also affected the FDI flow into the country. And I think we need more FDI. We need that clarity. I think that's very, very desired. And to be honest, it doesn't take very much to do it. Okay. So it's not as if it's outside the realm of, doability and cannot be done. I'm sure it can be done. And I have a sense that, the government will probably do something. They've been making the right noises. They've been saying that we want, another thing that they could do and they should be doing is, take away a lot of the tax litigation that's there. And, I quote Mr. Modi, he made this statement about saying that we want to do away with tax terrorism. If they could do anything on that side to address the extent of litigation we're seeing in India, I think it'll be a great step forward.
All right, Pallavi, thank you for taking us through the findings of your report. But on that note, we'll take a break. When we come back, more market talk lined up with Sandeep Shenoy, Executive Director, Institutional Equities at Anand Rathi Financial Services.